Hey guys, and welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully, you guys are having a fabulous day because I sure am. It's been sunny, kind of sunny here a little bit, and I can totally vibe with that. So, hopefully, you guys are having a great day. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm Tanya or Titanium Built, and we do talk true crime daily here, all day, every day. If that's something that you're into and you do appreciate the coverage, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all of the things. If you guys don't mind, hitting the like button now actually really helps. And then if you decide you don't like the video, you can take your like back, but it is free to do. So welcome all new people and welcome back all Titans. Oh, thank you, Frenchie. Thank you. I usually don't wear bright colors, but I've been trying to wear something different than black and brown. Hey, Judy, welcome in. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Mary Beth. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Lorena. Hey, Jan. Boone's here. Haven't seen you for a while. Feel like Boone? Oh, you need time. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm here. Isabel? My sister was seriously ill. Oh, we were told to pray for the worst, but things are going better now. Isabel, that's amazing. That's amazing that things are getting better. That's good to hear. Oh, no. Plus, I know it's always late when we go on. Lenora, welcome in. Hey, Heather. I want to do more day lives though. So I'm going to try to get there because it just is fun. Hey, Wist, welcome in everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I think I got everybody pretty much. Frenchie. But welcome in everybody. It's good to see you guys. We are going to cover Bryan Kohberger's court date today. He's going to be in court. So today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, so 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, the defense is going to call a witness to come up and testify. The testimony, it might be phony. Testimony will relate to the defendant's fourth and fifth motions to compel. So, because this witness was unavailable for the May 30th hearing that they were supposed to have, they're going to have that today. Now, the judge did say, Judge John Judge, if something goes awry, like something goes, a little crazy, they're just going to cut off the stream. And then that'll be the end of us watching it. So, I mean, we would hear something you would think before they cut it off, but that's what they're doing. They're allowing us to watch it. So for some reason, I am subscribed to Judge John Judge. I know I am, and I can never find his YouTube. So we're going to either watch on WFLA or we can watch on what's this? Law and Order, Law and Crime. I keep saying Law and Order. Man, I said that the other night too. So there was one new document that came out for Idaho today. I don't think it was much of anything. But okay, this is what it is. Let me pull it up here. It just is stimulated motion for order permitting Zoom participation at hearing for defense witness. So they're basically just asking for Leah Larkin and Becca Barlow to be available so that they can do Zoom instead of having to be there. So that's pretty much all this document says. The attorney's office has no objection to that. So that's what they're going to do. Now, I thought today was going to be either Leah Larkin or Becca Barlow was going to be there today to testify. But rumor has it, it's an officer, and it's one of the officers that deals with like data and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure. So, hey, Tony. Hey, Oopsie. Hey, Debbie. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good hearing. I hope it is. Cause sometimes it's like, oh my Lord. I don't know if Jay Logston will be there today, but between him and Ann Taylor, there's something else. So we'll play this video and then we will move over to Brian Enton did a little video and then I'll check his Twitter to see what's going on. Usually they don't start right at 5:30. They usually start a little bit after. So it'll be 2:30 there. I'm assuming that they will be done by 5, if not beforehand. But you know how it goes.
The Idaho College murder suspect, Bryan Kohberger, due in court today, where his defense team will try to compel prosecutors to turn over some evidence, and they're expected to call a witness. Kana Whitworth joins with the latest. Good morning, Kana.
I just wanted to tell you really quick, Kana Whitworth, she's the one that does one of the podcasts that we listen to.
Yeah, Michael, good morning. So Bryan Kohberger will be back in a Latah County courthouse today, and I'm told by a source that his defense team plans on calling Moscow police detective Lawrence Mowry to the stand today in yet another pre-trial hearing. Now, Mowry was named as the investigator in several social media search warrants involved in this case. He specializes in solving crimes using data. In fact, he was recently recognized by the Secret Service for achievement in the field of digital forensics and cyber crime. Now, Kohberger's lead defense attorney, Ann Taylor, has said she planned to call experts to testify about both DNA and Kohberger's alibi using cell tower data to prove he was out driving around at the time of the 2022 murders. Prosecutors, though, used DNA evidence to link the former PhD grad student to the crimes, and they say cell phone data places Kohberger near the crime scene. Now, the court entered a not guilty plea on Kohberger's behalf. He could face the death penalty if he's convicted here. But a reminder, Robin, that no trial date has even been set yet, Robin.
Yeah, no trial date as of yet. Kana, I know you're going to stay as you have from the beginning on top of this for us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kana Whitworth. So do you think y'all think Bryan will add to his alibi that he was also drinking water? He might have been. Might have been. I mean, my lordy, I don't even know what they're going to come up with today. I really don't. It'll be something, ridiculous, ridiculous, I feel like, but that's part of the game. So Bryan is there. Let me refresh the page really quick. He is back in Idaho. He should just have like a summer home there, or I guess it's kind of cooler. Well, summer home now. But it says, here's a preview of what to expect at this afternoon's Bryan Kohberger hearing. And he is there. He's always the first one there. So he's standing outside just hanging. Now, this is a picture he caught of the house the other day or today, maybe. It's extremely sad looking at it. The fence is falling down around the corners in the back. Like, they still have all of the memories, the candles, the bears. They never moved any of that stuff. That's amazing. What did I just do? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Is that showing up green on your side, like my window? It's really weird. Okay. Anyway. Oh, it's probably because of this. I'm like, what is going on? Okay. Let's go ahead and play Bryan really quick. I thought I just took all of my tabs off. So that's why I'm like, what was going on? So we'll play him real quick. And then we'll move over to one of the stations.
Cole, the defense for quite some time has been saying that the prosecution is not handing over all of the evidence in the case. So that is not new. But what's interesting, and the reason we're here in Idaho, is this hearing this afternoon in the courthouse behind me. There's going to be a witness, which we haven't seen happen very many times. They're not saying exactly who the witness is when they have the hearing, but I'm hearing it's likely going to be a police detective, and it's all going to have to do with cell phone data, which is critical to the prosecution's theory that Kohberger did it, but it's also critical to the defense's alibi saying Kohberger did not do it. I want to read you this. This is from a previous court document, and it has to do with Kohberger's alibi. The defense attorney writes, Mr. Kohberger was out driving in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, as he often did to hike and run and or see the moon and stars. He drove throughout the area south of Pullman, Washington, west of Moscow, Idaho, including Wawawai Park. So they're saying he was out driving, stargazing when the murders happened, and he wasn't at the house. You look at this map here. Remember, police say Kohberger was at the house based on the cell phone pings. Kohberger's defense is trying to say he was not near the house, which goes against exactly what the police have said. They say the pings are what puts Kohberger near the house, but you can see that Wawawai County Park is about 28 miles from the murder scene. Remember, police also say there is DNA evidence that connects Kohberger to the knife sheath found at the murder scene, but the defense is also trying to poke holes in that DNA evidence because investigators used this new form of DNA called investigative genetic genealogy.
Go back.
Evidence.
That face. I'm sorry, but that's a scary look.
Because investigators used this new form of DNA called investigative genetic genealogy. Basically, they use distant relatives to connect it all back to Kohberger. That could also come up at today's hearing, but it's possible that they could close that part off, actually make the media leave, make the public leave, because that part of the evidence contains sensitive information about Kohberger's distant relatives. Again, they used them to connect the DNA back to Kohberger. All of this, Nicole, very frustrating for the victims' families. They can't believe that this is taking so long. They feel like it's delay after delay after delay. There has not even been a trial date set at this point, Nicole.
I was looking up something for us. I was going to see if there's any. Oh, I guess we could look at Judge John Judge's YouTube, because they have it on the Gonsalvez's family page. I was just seeing if they had put something on there. And thank you so much, Oopsie, for gifting a membership. Thank you. Welcome on in, Tony. Okay, so where was that tab? I don't think that they wrote anything. He's probably gonna clip me. Maybe it will. That's cute. I don't want it to get me with the song. That's really sad. But it's nice that she has that. Like, that the parents have those memories, those, the girls were so into social media. I mean, that's kind of a good thing. I mean, I hope that it wasn't, what happened to them. I hope they weren't being stalked or anything, but it's good to have those memories, because I don't really have a lot of pictures of my mom and dad or like my family. We don't really take pictures apparently. So let me get back over to Brian Enton. And he just said, he hasn't said anything yet. So just said that he was there. Now we'll go over to, let me see what JB's doing. I think he's talking to the lawyer, So we'll go over there and see what they're doing. And then I can always look on Law and Crime too. I'll look on both when the court hearing starts to see which one has like the better audio and the better like visual. Cause sometimes they're like some are clearer than others, it seems like. And if you guys don't mind just taking a second, hit the like button. Thank you guys all for being here. Brian's court hearing should start any minute now. They are, like I said earlier, they have a expert witness coming to testify. They couldn't testify on May 30th at that hearing, so they're coming in today to testify. I believe it is a detective that deals with the data. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Ann Taylor is going to, I guess, question the witness, and I don't know, see what they said. But last time they had witnesses come up, it didn't go as planned. So hopefully it will this time.
All of this is going to take
And
center stage at the trial.
this
Anything
one
I missed
here.
there, Peter?
I mean,
I'm going to turn it down a little
we don't
bit
know if it exists, right? Did
for
he
now.
search them out on social media? Did he try to contact any of them?
Do you notice Bryan Kohberger, like his posture is better and everything. Like I noticed it whenever he was sitting down, like to take the pictures when he first came into jail. And I noticed that.
As we await,
We will all be old and gray by the time this trial starts. I know, right? Oh, what's going on?
we'll look at this as we refresh.
Oh, they're just checking. But I'll go ahead and turn it up. We can listen to this, see what they're saying.
One more vote. Can we get to 50 votes? Can someone go over to heyjb.live and give us our 50th vote on why you think the defense is still waiting for evidence from the prosecution? And then we'll animate those results here live on screen.
I think that it's not Latah County, it's the FBI. That's the problem. I do want to say, that they caught the Golden State serial killer with the same IgG DNA, and nobody said a word. Not a person. I didn't hear anybody complaining about them using it for him. But heaven forbid you use it on Kohberger, heaven forbid. It's all of a sudden it's brand new. Well, it is new, but we've used it before. If they wanted to change the laws, they should have changed them after they got the Golden State killer. You know what I mean? That's when they should have been like, oh shit, we're using something new. We better go ahead and put this into our system and, get a system made for this kind of stuff. But that's
See if
just
we can
me.
get one. We're up to, we've passed over 50 votes. So why do you think the defense is still waiting for evidence from the prosecution?
We should try to get to 50 likes.
Now there it is, 50%, roughly. The numbers are still coming in. 48 to 50% of our audience thinks it's a legal strategy, Peter, that it is a deliberate move by the prosecution. And
I think it's a deliberate move by the defense. What's going on here? You're cutting out, JB. Why does Peter look bored? Why doesn't he drop? What is going on here? Do they know that no one can hear them? How do you get the live chat back up? Okay, that's craziness. Are y'all able to hear this, or is it just me? Like, yeah, I mean, do they even realize it, or are they just listening to each other hoping they're going to catch something? Somebody fix the sound. JB, my man. Oh my, this is worse than the robot. This is worse than the robot we usually listen to on Nancy Grace. Okay. It's messed up. Yeah, okay. I'm not the only one. I'm not losing it. Okay. So I do have it on Law and Crime also. I'm going to turn this down. Someone needs to, hey, JB. I just don't know how to get back to the comments. I'm so bad about this stuff. You'd think I would know. Exit full screen? No. I think oh, wait. Show chat. Hey, audio. They're not even wearing headphones. So how in the heck are they not hearing this? I mean, I guess I wouldn't hear myself neither. But they're talking to each other. It's like, are they reading each other's lips? What is going on here? I put in capitals. Can't hear you.
Investigators,
oh, there he is.
Law enforcement are never going to stop searching for things that's going to make their case better. And as they
maybe
find
they saw my big ball
turn it over to the defense. So sure, I think they're going to keep looking for
very
everything.
Weird.
But I don't think they expect to find the knife at this point. And if they do, you better believe a big argument for the defense is,
oh, there it goes again. Oh, great. Now it's bad again. Prosecute. I'm trying to read his lips. Oh my gosh, this is annoying. What is this? It sounds like they're beatboxing, like, or whatever it's called. Somebody, for the love of God, tell me how they understand each other. Are they reading on a teleprompter? Like, is his message just coming through? Because it looks like they're almost reading. Okay. JB, dude, why are you guys smiling? Do y'all even know what you're smiling about? Okay, if we get it on Law and Crime, we'll go ahead and just move it over because those sounds terrible.
And hopefully we'll try to get.
Now it's again. It's okay.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, I keep hearing that the audio is breaking up. We will look into that. Tim says, I think the prosecution has evidence.
It's not just breaking up. We can't hear you.
In him being guilty. Does that ever happen, Peter, where the prosecution is reviewing the evidence and they say, wow, this doesn't add up with this narrative that we are building that the person is guilty? And then I would imagine that's.
These are all older videos. So Kohberger right here, that's when he first went into court the first time.
Pretty uncomfortable to come across.
Oh my gosh, is it again? Oh my Lord, have mercy, y'all. This is really. I wonder. It's messing up on my iPad too. Okay, it's 5:37. Get your ass on.
can come watch your guys' stream
Oh,
later.
there it is. Okay.
So yeah, you can find me, Laura, on all YouTube, social media
course.
platforms.
Of course, when he's saying his name.
Come check out the cases we're handling, get in the chat, ask some questions, and let me know what you think about all these cases.
Peter, thank you so much, folks. We're stepping away for a quick second to fix our audio issues. We're live here from the Stream Center. The hearing itself has not yet begun, so you're not missing anything. We're going to get our audio fixed before, and our signal looks good, but apparently YouTube is having difficulty receiving it. We're going to see if we can get this fixed before the actual hearing itself begins. Stand by.
I love JB. I think he's a genuine guy. That's funny, Isabel. $1 million if you can guess what they were said. I couldn't even tell you. I was trying to read their lips. I was like, can I read their lips? Okay, it's not on the other channel yet. So let me go over to Brian Enton and see what he's talking about, if anything. Nope. He must be in the courtroom. I don't think they can have their phones, so. Also, Judy, that picture was him when he was an older picture. That picture was from his first, I think, court appearance, first or second court appearance. And then when he got Ann Taylor, when they moved it up to like state court or whatever it's called, the higher courts, then that's when he decided, to put his stuff on. Oh, let me turn it up. Is it
Okay, we are now on the record. This is State versus Bryan Kohberger.
If the sound messes up, I have another channel.
2805. Mr. Kohberger is here in the courtroom.
Judge John Judge got a haircut.
Ms. Taylor, the state's represented by Mr. Thompson and Ms. Jennings, Latah County Prosecutor's Office. I believe Mr. Logston is remote, and so is Ms. Mathot, both representing Mr. Kohberger. I think I've covered everybody. Ms. Evans is court reporter. We're here for a motion and a potential witness, I believe, relating to motions to compel discovery, 4th and 5th. That's all I know. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
Your Honor, the court is correct. We are here to begin the motions to compel. We have testimony today from Detective Mowry. As the court will recall, he's unavailable on the 30th and 31st, which are the days when we will have the full scope of our motions to compel. So it may feel a little choppy, but we would like to hear from Detective Mowry today, and we'd call him when it's appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Anything preliminary, Mr. Thompson and Ms. Jennings?
Okay.
Okay, great. Detective Mowry, line up. You face the clerk, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
All right, thank you, sir. Go ahead and have a seat there. Once you're seated, please state your name and spell your last.
My name is Lawrence Mowry, Mowry.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Taylor?
Thank you. Will you tell us how you're employed?
I'm employed with the Moscow Police Department.
What is your role there?
I am a detective.
How long have you worked for Moscow Police Department?
I've worked in Moscow for over 5 years.
Have you been a detective that entire time?
I have.
And prior to that, did you have law enforcement experience?
I do.
How many years total?
We have on 14.
Detective Mowry, did you take part in the investigation into the homicides on King Road?
Yes.
And what was your role?
A lot of different things. How to answer that.
Well, I can ask you about a couple of roles, maybe.
Sure.
Do you do any work with cell phones and cell towers?
I have taken training for cell phone analysis.
Was that one of the roles
has-
that you played
Sorry to mute it, but he has Brian's dream job.
in this investigation? All right. And the other area that I'd like to talk to you about is the collection of videotape evidence or surveillance evidence from around the community. What was your role in that?
So we gathered a lot of data, a lot of USBs, hard drives that came in. At one point, all of that was given to me so that I could copy it over to a server so that we have it stored and backed up.
Did you inventory it at that time as you got it in, I guess?
Don't have to say inventory. I used the evidence technician to help me book them individually at the time. Right, so the USB had the name of it on it. I would label the folder, what it was, and that came from it.
Did you have any role in verifying the content of the surveillance?
No.
I'm going to have a few questions about that, but I want to talk a little bit more about your role with cell phones and cell towers. So let's start there, okay? What training do you have for that role?
So some time ago, I went through what they say PATC training, which is cellular analysis, and I've also taken classes for the CAS codes.
The cellular analysis, is that particular to the device itself, the cell phone device?
No.
That is particular to towers?
To the towers and the providers themselves.
When did you take that training?
Well, the CAS, I believe it was in 2019, and then I also did it again last year.
And the CAS that you took in 2019, that was the ENDICAC, is that right?
That was predominant again, correct?
And the CAS that you took last year was October of 2023, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was the actual CAST training.
They were both done by actual cast members. I'm not sure if one was sponsored by the other, but they were both performed by FBI cast members.
And Your Honor, if I can approach.
Yes, thank you.
Detective Mallory, I'm putting in front of you what's labeled as Defendant's Exhibit O, and those are 2 certificates for training. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right. The one that's from 2019, what did that cover?
that covered the use of the Cascos software.
And what did the one in 2023 cover?
The second.
Your Honor, I move for admission of Defendant's O.
The objection?
No objection.
Okay, those are exhibit, oh, no objection. Thank you.
The Detective Mallory, how many total hours do those certificates represent of CAST training?
I apologize, I didn't look, it was a week long. It was actually a couple of days each time. 2 days apiece,
Do you need this?
but so the 2019 shows 24 hours, and the 2023 says 16 hours.
Thank you, Detective.
Thank you.
Detective, you've written some reports in this case, is that correct?
Yes,
I want to talk about 2 particular reports right now. One is from May the 5th of 2023. Do you recall that report, or should I bring a copy of that to you?
it'd be helpful to add it up.
I can definitely do that. You can show it to Ms. Jennings.
We have a jury next door,
Okay.
just so you know. That's all about it.
Detective Mowry, does that appear to be your report from May 5th of 2023?
Yes.
And your order would move for admission of defendants P,
That's P.
like Paul?
All right. Any objection?
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Exhibit P is admitted. No objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Mowry, I do not have a police report for the other one that I want to talk about today. It's one that I received via email today that was written just within the last few days by you, probably. Do you know what report I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I want to understand is we're talking about documents or records or logs that can be created by a CAST-Viz program. The report that you wrote that I received today, when did you learn about those documents that exist according to that report?
The research logs that I found were from yesterday.
Why did you come to find them yesterday?
I was preparing for this hearing.
Okay. And those are things that existed for quite some time, is that correct?
They did.
Ooh, Anne is working it.
And when you wrote about your work with CAST-Viz in May of 2023, did you document those items?
No.
Tell me what you found when you were preparing for the motion to compel today.
I found session logs that were sent to me from the FBI.
All right. And in those session logs, how many files were there?
I don't remember. I think there were 6 or 7 different items inside.
Did you look at the CAST-Viz 48-hour file?
I don't remember if I did it was under reception.
Did you look at it yesterday in preparation for this hearing?
I attempted to.
All right. And how about the CAST-Viz full log?
I attempted to yesterday.
I noticed in your report that there were several items that you listed. Were those from these CAST-Viz logs that you attempted to look at yesterday?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to, you need to speak up a little bit. Or just telling me to pick up a little bit. Thanks.
There were some files that were in the session logs, there were other files that were not.
Well, let's start with the 48-hour. What was contained in there?
There's older 48 hours that was the AT&T records, the original records, and there's a 48-hour session log. I don't know which one you're after.
Let's go with the session log. What was in there?
Appeared to be the AT&T records that possibly were inputted, as well as some JSON files that were probably produced by CAST-Viz.
JSON files were produced by CAST-Viz. Is that right?
I would assume that. I didn't create those files.
What date were they created?
I believe one was in December, the other was in April.
December of what year?
22,
And April of what year?
23.
Could you tell who created those?
I could not.
How did you get those?
I was provided those via email.
By who?
I made balance of the FBI.
What did you do with those?
Even as soon as I realized they were in my possession, I had contacted the prosecutor and gave them.
And that would be just yesterday, is that correct?
Yes.
What did you do with them prior to that time?
They were sent to me. I put them in a folder and I didn't do anything else with them. That's why I forgot them.
Okay. And that was the 48-hour file?
The 48-hour session log, yes.
How about the full file? What was contained in there?
Similar items to the 48.
What is the full file?
I believe that was the second AT&T return that we got via warrant. I wasn't able to open it to verify it.
That brings up a question
That
for
would have been Bryan's
clarification when you
phone.
say second warrant return. Are you talking about something that relates to Bryan Kohberger?
Yes, there was 2 warrants that were originally written. One that covered a 48-hour period for the cell phone number, and there was one that was later done for a longer period of time.
And those are what you're referring to as the warrants 1 and warrant 2.
Correct. One for 48 and one for the longer period.
In the report that I just received today, there was reference to a loped bar file. What's that?
It is a file that I received from Agent Balance.
When did you receive that?
I want to say the modification or the email. I honestly don't remember. Unfortunately, it was yesterday and I didn't throw this stuff together. So,
Okay. So that was one that you just found yesterday?
yes,
Okay. Did you open that?
I don't recall opening it. If I did, I don't recall doing it.
How about the CDR.S.XLSX file? Was that, and CDR, what does that stand for?
All detail records.
Did you open that?
I don't remember if I did not.
Did you open it yesterday?
I don't remember. I was looking for it. Once I found them, I was trying to figure out how they came into my presence or in my possession. That's what I started to focus.
Okay. How about the export.kmz file? When did you find that file?
I had found that one yesterday,
Do you know when that came into your possession?
some time ago.
Did you open that?
I believe I did on my laptop.
What did that show you?
It showed me different locations and so forth on a map.
Those 3 files that we just talked about, along with the CastViz 48 and the CastViz full, are those copied so that I can have those now?
Yes,
And you referred to emails. How many emails did you find when you were preparing for this hearing?
there was 5.
Are those included for me to have now as well?
Yes,
Thank you. In the report that I received today, there was a reference to drawings.json file. What's that?
it was a JSON file that was inside the CastViz session.
What does that depict?
It's just data that CastViz would use, I'm guessing, to replot something on the map to actually show locations or other things.
Did you do anything with that file when you found it yesterday?
I did open that file, yes.
Okay. What did that show you when you opened it?
There were references to 2 locations inside.
When you open it, does it just say here's 2 references, or what does it show you when you open it?
It's different code, but there is some plain language or plain English, plain text inside of that code that show 2 addresses.
Did you use that file? Well, let me ask this first. That file that contains code, do you use that with the CastViz program?
I attempted to load the session file in its entirety and received errors, so I was not able to. That's why I went into the JSON file to see if there was something I could see reference.
Is that file usable?
I'm sure it is to someone.
What is the restriction for you?
The judge is
I don't know
smiling.
what restriction is. I don't know what to do with that file outside of, if I could possibly bring it into the CastViz. I tried to pull it in as a combined session log, which is what I was trained to do. So I didn't get that. I didn't pull that file.
Is that file available on a discovery drive for me?
Provided to the prosecutor today.
Thank you. In the report that I just got today, there's a reference to another CastViz session and some screenshots. What is that about?
I believe you're talking about just the regular 48 hours folder.
I don't know. I'm curious.
So that I provided 2 folders. One was CastViz and one was just my last name of Maori. That was to differentiate the files that I found that were provided to me and the folder of the files that I used to create this report.
Okay. CastViz is the files that you found while preparing,
Correct.
and the one that says Maori is what you used to create your May 3rd report of 2023.
Yes,
Okay, I think I understand that now. In that file, I think your report said you found screenshots dated April 19th of 2023.
yes,
All right. Does that mean that's the day that you put things into your CastViz program?
that was the day that I made the screenshots themselves.
Okay. Where are those screenshots now? Are those also included on the drive?
Yes,
Okay. And then your report dated 5/3 says that you were asked to examine the record. So I'm a little confused if you had something that you took screenshots of on 4/19, but on 5/3 you were asked to examine the record. What were you doing on 4/19 or before to get those screenshots?
so I was tasked, the date was May 3rd for the report. It's not the date that I asked.
Okay. What day were you asked to do?
I cannot remember. I'm gonna guess that it was somewhere around April 19th. That's when the screenshots were created.
Okay. Let's talk about that time frame then and what you did. Did you actually use a CastViz program at that time to create something?
Yes,
The CastViz program that you used at that time, and we're talking about springtime of 2023, we'll call it April for now, if that's fair. What training had you received by then to do this CastViz program?
the 2019 training.
Okay. With the CastViz program, what's the first thing that you did?
Once the program is open, you can drag and drop the CPR records into the program.
CDR means call detail records.
Right.
Did you do just 48-hour records or did you do full records in April of 2023?
I only did the 48 hour.
When you put the records in, those are the call detail records and those relate to what?
To the phone that the records were coming back to.
The number you associated with Bryan Kohberger.
Right.
Okay. When
This one seems
after you
clear.
put those call detail records in, do you have to do anything with cell towers?
With the AT&T, no, because the cell tower locations are in the AT&T CDR.
Okay. So you put that record in, the tower locations are already part of the call detail record that you put in.
Yes,
Is that something that you have electronic on your computer and then you open your CastViz program and just import it into the program?
yes, AT&T provides both PDF and text documents of the file, and I use the text document to put into CastViz to have it adjusted.
And when you do that, what gets exported?
Nothing. At that point, nothing is exported or created that I know of.
Can you export the session that you're working on?
You can export a session log, yes.
Did you do that?
No.
How did you create screenshots?
By using the built-in Windows snip tool, as well as the built-in Windows game console, I believe they call it the game bar, which is just accessed by hitting Windows G. That allows you to record your screen.
Are those the only two things you did, is screen clip and screen record?
Yes,
How many times did you use call detail records in the CastViz program?
probably a dozen times. I'm not entirely sure.
That was a terrible question. How many times did you use the CastViz program in relation to Bryan Kohberger's call detail records?
I don't know.
More than once?
I recall doing it for the grand jury because I wasn't the main lead in the call detail records investigation.
I don't understand what that means.
I wasn't the main person looking at those call detail records.
You weren't the main person with the call detail records, but you put them in the CastViz program anyway?
For the grand jury, I was requested.
Okay. What did you rely on in producing those, producing whatever you produced for the grand jury?
What did I produce? As far as the AT&T records,
I want to know what you relied on to do that, to produce something for the grand jury.
I don't understand the question.
Okay. You weren't the main guy with the call detail records or with the cast viz programming. Did I understand that much right?
There was another investigator that was doing that.
Okay. But you end up involved in it somehow in April of 2023, is that right?
That's why I was asked to examine the data to provide that for the grand jury.
Okay. Was that all of your instruction?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're asked by somebody else who's actually doing this part of the investigation in the case to produce something for the grand jury to use. And I'm curious about what you relied on, to get to that point. I want to know all the records you relied on, all of the emails, all of the conversations you relied on to produce this thing that you're not the expert for.
So I wrote the affidavit for the AT&T records, received the AT&T records. Those records were also given to another investigator who was the main investigator doing the CDR records. Prosecution then asked me to provide or create some type of visualization of the call detail records and examine the call detail records for the 4 hours in question. That
Just to be really sure, when you talked about writing the 2 warrants for AT&T, we're talking about 2 warrants that relate to Bryan Kohberger. There were a lot of other warrants. Is that right?
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to be really clear on that. You've taken the cast training. Is that right?
Yes.
And you know there's a way to save your session. Is that correct?
Yes.
And there's also a way just to hit reset and delete your session. Do you know that part too?
Mhm.
And back in April, when you were creating something for the grand jury, you hit reset. Is that right?
Or I just deleted the.
Oh,
file.
hell.
I don't remember if I had reset or delete. You can delete them individually as well.
You don't remember which thing you did,
I do.
but you decided to delete what you'd created.
I don't know. I didn't delete anything. I didn't create the session log, so I don't know how I would delete it. You delete the reference of the file in the software, but the file itself is not deleted.
I want to make sure I understand. The record, the AT&T record still exists. You didn't delete that.
Correct.
But the session, when you put that in to the cast viz program, and it does its thing with the call detail records, which includes tower references, you either deleted that session or you chose to reset. Did I understand that right?
Didn't create a session log. I don't know how I would delete it. I just removed the reference to the file, the main file from the software at some point. I don't know when I did that.
You don't know when you did that?
No, you can close the software without hitting reset or delete.
And then it would just stay there.
I deleted that.
And you can also export your session if you get interrupted and you want to come back and work on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do that? You left it up and running at some point and then did something that didn't save it. Is that right?
The session log was never created. Did not create a session log. The CDR records that I was dealing with is relatively small. There's no need to do that because I can ingest the files right back into CastViz in a short amount of time.
That's not the answer that she wanted.
Your Honor, just for clarity, may I approach? I have another exhibit
Yes.
to show him.
I get it to you.
Thank you. Are you familiar with the document that was handed to you that's marked Defendants W?
Yes,
And have you seen that before?
I have.
Is that something that you were taught from the CAST Users Guide?
I'm sure I was. It's also included in the software that can be readily accessed by the
Okay. And Your Honor, would move for admission of Defendants W?
Thank you. No objection. Okay, that exhibit W is admitted.
Thank you.
No objection.
In your training, were you also taught from the CAST Field Users Guide?
I believe so.
I'm about ready to switch gears on you and talk a little bit more about videos for a second, but if I can have just one moment, Your Honor.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, let's switch gears for just a minute. You, during the course of your work, did you make contact with the Idaho Department of Transportation to talk about some of the cameras that cover main roads coming into and out of Moscow?
Yes,
And did you attempt to make preservation of any items? What items did you want preserved?
I was trying to see if they had saved video or still images from those spots
What did you learn?
that they do not regain those.
Did you, when you say they do not retain those, do you mean they don't retain videos or pictures or both?
Both.
Did you do a preservation for anything?
Not recall studying actual preservation letter out.
Okay. Your Honor, if I can have another exhibit provided.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Bill, start objecting or something. Well, that guy's a lot taller than I thought. Wow, he's tall. I want his job. BK scares her. Oh man. Look how he just sits dead. Like he just stares forward. But he did look at Bill 2 court hearings ago. He was just looking at him. Like, and I was like, dang. It was like the first time I'd seen him like not look straight. Man, they're really looking over this. Right, Judy, I know. Hey, Rhonda. And that's what happens. That like if I feel like when I get on Twitter, it's like everything that we had from the beginning, they're just starting it over again. And I'm like, what is going on here? Oopsie. He makes my skin crawl. I mean, when I just showed you that picture, I wouldn't want that coming at me. That's a scary picture. Is this really that long? Is this a good one or something? What are we reading here? Well, apparently Bill don't need to read it. He's just over there looking.
What do you recognize that exhibit?
So these are emails that I was trying to find some kind of contact information for windy.com, a website that does weather related information as well as has some links to images from cameras that are covering the highway.
And Did you learn that you could have some still shots preserved?
I did.
Did you have some still shots preserved?
I did not.
Okay. Your Honor would move for admission of defendants PP.
That's what, I'm sorry, PP?
Double P, yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. Exhibit PP is exhibit or admitted, no objection.
When we started talking, we talked about you kind of being the guy that would book or take videos in from different agencies, even if you didn't verify what was on the device you received. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you, I have a specific one that a couple of them I want to ask you about. One is from Red Star Coffee Shop. Do you recall receiving that video?
I did not.
Okay. And are you aware that it was booked in or brought in by Idaho State Police?
No.
How would I find out about those videos?
I don't know. You would have to go through the USB drives to find out what was given. I was just given the mass USB drives. I was not given them individually by the people that were bringing them in for time. Given to them after it had been handed off to other investigators and other assistants that were helping the cops.
Is there somebody else I should ask about specific ones to track where they went?
I don't know. I don't have that information.
Okay. All right, give me just a minute, Your Honor.
Sure.
Thank you, Detective Mallory. I don't have any other questions for now, but hold on, the prosecutor might.
Oh, that was quick.
Ms. Taylor. Jennings, Mr. Thompson.
Ms. Jeans.
Okay, Ms. Jennings.
Oh man, I want to build a talk.
Mallory, I want to go back and talk a little bit about this CastViz. Can you explain to me generally what is CastViz?
It's just a software that is useful in creating visualizations of the call detail records.
Okay. So how is it useful? What does it show?
It shows the location and the direction of the cell towers and their sector antennas.
Okay. Now, what version of CastViz do you have?
Currently, I think I have 33 on my laptop. It's prompted me to update to 38. But at the time, I believe I had version 30 installed.
So walk me through. You start up the software program,
Yes,
and then what do you do?
drag the text file from the CDRs into the system. It ingests the files and then produces a display of that data.
Okay. And is that what you did on the 19th?
Yes.
And then what did you do with that visual that was displayed?
Those visuals, I created screenshots, created the screen capture of the video. CastViz also allows a timeline playing view that you can record separate from Windows Built in some software. I can save those.
Other than uploading the CDRs, did you change any of the settings on CastViz?
The only thing that I would have done was gone in and changed made sure that the time was correct because they were coming in at the TC. It was a coordinated time. I wanted to make sure that those were representative of the local time.
All right, so you just changed it to Pacific.
Correct.
Any other changes?
No.
Okay. So you were talking about how it does not automatically save.
It does not.
Okay. And you chose not to save.
No. And in the exhibit that was provided, the actual text says that if you need to save a session file.
Okay. And can you tell me why didn't you save these settings?
I was creating the visualization exhibits. That's what I was doing with that.
Any reason to save the settings?
No.
Could this be recreated or redone in the same fashion?
Yes, I can, again, open the software, drag the CDRs back in, and in a very short time it is generated.
And it would give you the same information?
Yes.
Is that why you didn't save it?
Yes.
I want to switch over to the other session files that you found. Were those session files created by you?
No.
Okay. And did you ever use those?
No.
And have you now turned those over, provided those?
Yes.
Now I want to switch gears over to what we were discussing as windy.com. What is that? What is Windy?
It's a website that is available for weather and such.
Okay. And why is that relevant in this case?
We were directed by, I think it was Captain Corporal Payne that told me that we should look into windy.com
And why is that?
just to see if they retained video from the cameras themselves.
Okay, so windy.com has cameras.
They have screenshots. They basically capture the ITD cameras and put them on their website. Those images are routinely purged from their site for the administration of that.
Okay. And can you explain to me, when are those, you talked about them being purged from their site? What's that schedule?
From going on their website yesterday, it's a public website, so I was able to go back to it. I don't remember exactly. I believe that within 24 hours, it's hourly. Within a week, it's daily. Within 12 months, it's monthly. And then after that, I believe it's I was seeing probably like 3 months or so.
Can you explain why you didn't preserve those images from windy.com?
When it was discussed with other investigators, we wrote the volume gotten, I believe it was one image per day. Time frame wasn't where we were interested in, so we didn't capture that once.
So there is no evidentiary value.
None that we did.
Okay. And have you since gone back and found some screenshots?
Yes,
It's what's available on the publicly available website,
anyone can go to windy.com and grab screenshots there.
and you've now done that.
I have,
Anything of evidentiary value?
no,
Have those been turned over anyway?
yes.
I just have 1 second.
Sure.
I don't have any further questions.
Thank you. Can you read that?
Yes, just a bit. You were just speaking with the prosecutor about
Just a
the
bit.
images from windy.com. And I thought you didn't preserve anything or go back and look at anything during your investigation. Did I misunderstand that?
So yesterday when I was directed by the prosecutor.
Okay, so yesterday the prosecutor said, go look for these things.
Yes,
But before that, you and other investigators decided not to. Did I get that right?
with the information that we were given, we were told that there was a screenshot for the day, if I remember right, the parameters of. We did not grab those because they were not in the. Didn't see that they would be relevant.
But you didn't look back then. You waited until yesterday. Is that right?
No, we looked back then. I couldn't tell you what time. Most of the photos that were taken for the daily screenshot or the daily screenshots were daytime. They looked at days kind of thing. So we didn't grab those at the time.
Okay, but you did look at the time and made a decision at the time. Do I understand that now?
Yes.
Okay. Back to the cast viz for a couple of questions for you. When you were doing the work back in April of 2023, did you see maps on the screen with the work that you were doing?
Yes.
And You also made a video of that. I want to show you a map and see if it's what I think it is. You have defendants R in front of you. What is that?
Appears to be a screen capture of the CASTIS software.
Is that a screen capture from a map that you made?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor would move for admission of defendants R.
Action.
No.
Exhibit R is submitted. No objection.
And are you aware that when you can see mapping on your screen on this program that there's a log created? Okay. You would agree that if I were to take the call detail records that have the tower report in them, I would have to have the same cast version you were using to recreate what you did. Would you agree with that?
I'd have to have, if I took the regular cell call detail records and put them into a different version of CAST, are you saying that it would become different?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me try to be more clear about the one I was asking, and then I like yours. We might talk about your question as well. My question is, and the prosecutor suggested that your work be recreated. And so it didn't matter that you hadn't saved your session. What I want to know is if I have the 48-hour call detail records that contain the tower list like you have, do I have to have the CASTIS program that you used so I can see what you did?
I don't know, because I don't know what the back end of the CASTIS software does. I'm just a user, so I don't know.
And you were in this CASTIS program, at least for a while, creating exhibits that would be relied on. Is that right?
Yes.
On more than one occasion. Is that right?
Yes.
But you didn't save your work.
We did not create a session log. That's even need.
Would you agree I can't see what you did without your session log? Can't examine what you did without your session log?
It's there to create the visualizations for the exhibits. That's what I use CASTIS.
But I can't see what you did. Is that right? Is that right?
No.
No, it's not right, or no, I can't see what you did.
You cannot, but I could
Ooh.
take those cell data or call data records, put them into CASTIS again. Results would be what they are because we're still using the same records from AT&T to create
Have you done that?
these records.
Yes.
No.
Thanks, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Anything on that, Ms. Jennings?
Can we go, why did you pull the CDRs into CASTIS?
Why did I do that in April? Because I was asked by you to do it for the tender.
Okay, is that the only reason you did it?
Yes.
Is that the only time you did it?
Yes.
Okay.
That I remember. I mean,
Yeah, follow up on that question.
Nope, thank you.
Okay, great. Can this witness be excused?
Yes, please.
Any objection? Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Matt. All right, you are excused, but you can say if you like. Okay. Next witness.
Your Honor, the rest of the witnesses will be present and ready to go on the 30th, to the very best of my knowledge. This was the only
Thank
witness we
goodness.
needed to accommodate with today's hearing. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. So we're done for today?
We're done for today, Your Honor.
Wow, okay. Ms.
That's the
Jennings?
shortest meeting I've ever
Agreed?
seen.
Okay.
He's surprised.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm leaving early today, boys.
What are you, hold on. Ah, yes, thank you. Thank you, Beth. So I have a whole bunch of documents that is not clear whether I should sign the sealing or not, because there's no stipulation and there's no hearing, but we're all here together. So can we just go through this
Oh
and
my
clear
Lord.
it up?
How many documents
Yes.
you got there, buddy?
Sure. Okay,
Everyone wants to
so the
leave.
first one I have is motion to temporarily seal supplemental response to defendant's fourth and response to fifth
He's gonna
motions
sign
to
that.
compel and motion to limit scope of testimony. And I have not signed that because there was no stipulation or agreed.
Your Honor, I apologize. I thought we had agreed, those have the detailed exhibits attached to them, and I thought we'd stipulated that those detailed exhibits could be sealed.
Okay, well, the addition on that was limited scope of testimony, so I wasn't sure if that was included in our earlier agreement.
Your Honor, that's the state's motion, and I know we responded to that, and we did not seal our response to that.
Okay. State is asking for sealing on that. Are we on the same page? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Just want to know if I should sign this or not.
Well, I'm just not sure. Is there an objection? It's the state's motion to seal. Is there an
Right.
objection from defense to seal?
No, if they want their documents sealed, that's fine. We had responded publicly, and so I wondered if that changed.
Okay, so I'll sign.
Oh, look at her trying to be dirty.
That's fine.
Yeah, we can seal them, but we
I
did
just don't want to
public.
get in trouble with your arguments about sealing and not sealing. Okay, just want to be very clear on the record.
Thank you for that.
Plus is piling up with the clerk. Okay, next one is also the state's, well, this is the one that's sealed. Got that taken care of. Got another one from the state, a motion to temporarily seal exhibits one of state's second supplemental response, et cetera. Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. These titles are getting along, I have to say. Fine. Clear. I think that is one. Okay. This is the same. I think that's it. Okay, anything else we need to talk about before we're done?
Nothing from us.
Okay, well, thank you all. You're adjourned. Appreciate it.
Man, they can really make that video private really fast, can't they? Wow, look at them. Look at them going. Okay. So basically, old Kohlberg's attorneys, hold on one second. Let me grab my drink. Okay, so old Kohberger, his attorney Ann Taylor. Sorry if I scared you coming on like that. But Ann Taylor called this investigator to the stand. I cannot believe this would happen. He was like, I don't know what award he got, but he was like mentioned in the Secret Service as being like one of the best people to do cast. And half of it he didn't have backed up, like any of it. He was walking away from his computer while it was up, and then it just disappeared. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I went and did something else. Like, I was like, oh my lordy. Oh my lordy. I think she did pretty good today. But we all know what happened that night. I have faith in Bill Thompson. I really do. But she is getting her digs in. I will say that. And she's trying to persuade people just like, the PCA swayed us. But that's truthful. That's all truth, You don't think so, Debbie? I do. Chopper, she wants to keep delaying. Oh, yeah. The more she delays, the more money she makes. And it keeps her client in a safe jail, like behind, by himself and not in prison. So that's what she's trying to do. She's just trying to keep him out of prison for as long as she can. And, it's crazy. I did put a poll up, though. You think he's innocent? Oh, yeah, I don't at all. I actually have the 2 PCAs back there. I think I know all first 7 pages by heart. I don't think so. I think he did. I think that he, allegedly, but no, I think he did. I mean, I can have my opinion, right? Yeah, I think so. We went through so many different people, like Jack Decor, Joe Vidit at the food truck, Jeremy, the neighbor, old Jeremy giving his DNA. I mean, we've had a lot of people. Enan, I can't even name them all. We've had so many, but the evidence is good. They do have good, solid evidence. And I do think that even though this guy's cast, cast isn't good, I think that he's only one expert. So I'm hoping they have more than one doing the cast, and they probably do. Oh, wow. It's probably something crazy that's not true, the eyewitness thing, because, they do have an eyewitness, though. I mean, Dylan Mortensen she would be an eyewitness. She saw him going through the house. It is what? I mean, they have the cast, they have the DNA, they have the phone pings, they have camera footage. I mean, I don't think he was stalking them necessarily. 12 times going over there, that's not stalking. I'd be over there every day if that was me. Scoping out my plan, making sure my plan didn't mess up. I didn't mess up my plan, and I think he did it over here because he thought nobody noticed him. Like he wanted to do that. I don't think he would do this in Pennsylvania. Too close to home, And I think he felt safe driving his own car because that's your comfort. Like, when you're in your car, you feel comfortable and you don't even really think about things. I think that he felt comfort in there. So it was pinged right in the area, right beside the house. Yeah. This case is crazy. I have so many videos on Idaho. It's ungodly. Most of you guys said yes. So let's see. I was going to see if I could look really quick and tell you how many. But we always do cases in between too. We try to, So playlist. 311. It's a lot of videos. I don't delete my videos. You know what I mean? Like some creators do. I don't delete nothing. I've only privated one video, and that was because it was for like a subscriber. I did it, and then I just privated it because it wasn't like really with true crime. And I have videos on like my oldest videos. They don't have to do with true crime neither. They have to do with trauma. So I just did stuff here and there. So stargazing in overcast weather. Yeah. And it was freezing that night. And it's not like he has like a moon roof or sun roof where he can like be looking. And who stargazes by themselves? That's a 28-year-old male. He's 29 now, but. Well, Rena, one of the roommates did. Bethany didn't hear anything downstairs, but Dylan heard a lot. She just didn't realize, I think, what she was hearing. He was stargazing all right, and then he entered the house and did the deed. It's sad, but I think that they have a good amount of evidence. I mean, who else would it be? Fraternity guys? You know, those guys they can't find their way out of a freaking Natty Light box of beer there, you know, let alone hurt someone. Sandy G, yeah, I don't like her either. I remember she first went to court, like, we were teasing her and stuff, and then she, like, curled her hair the next time we were teasing her about her hair. Yeah, BK's pushing 30 now. He's gonna spend a lot of his birthdays in prison. Man, oh man. Well, I'll be back most likely tonight. There was new documents that have come out in Jillian and Veronica's case, you know, the Kansas women that went missing and they were unalived. So we went over the documents the other day about how they were found in a deep freezer. There was other people's like belongings in that hole, things like of that nature. Well, even more documents came out today, or maybe it was yesterday, but I just saw them today. And they have like a list of all the evidence. They have more details on what happened. It was and they did like the property search of the Beasley property. So it's where the burial was. And they did a search there and they released it. So we can go over that tonight. And then I have like a ton of tabs open for them. I don't know why. But I was on Reddit and stuff. I was trying to find whatever I could find. And I'm trying to look for the document that I read to you guys last time. I don't know why I didn't save it. But yeah, they have like 24 items listed now. Remember, we just heard like a black glove, pair, like sweatshirts, t-shirts, a black hat. So they're giving us more, So I'm going to jump off here. I'll probably be back 9:35, 9:15, 9:35. We'll go over the documents. And Nancy Grace came out with an episode about it. So actually we'll play that. I'll put her on the thumbnail. It's the podcast version. So it's just came out today. And it talks about where they were found, where they were buried, like all of those things. So I think that that'll be a good episode because it's like brand new. But I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to run over, I think, to Target and grab some stuff. Can you guys believe this? And I'm shitting you not. For the last 3 weeks, I think, I have not bought any. I don't think. Now I need to think about it. I haven't bought anything for myself at Target. It's like I think I'm sick or something. Vincent says because our house is so full, we don't need anything else. And I'm like, that's probably true, but I like soft blankets. I've got a problem. But thank you guys all for being here. If you guys don't mind, I did do a video today, a pre-recorded on Madalena Kojakari. If you guys would just go and check it out, it's a 3-minute video. Get your girl, you know, a like, a view. We'll get it out into the algorithm more. This little girl she's missing and no one is helping her. Her mother's about to be, she's left jail smiling yesterday, and she's about to be deported back to Moldova, and then we'll never get her back because we don't have an extradition treaty with them. So it's going to be damn near impossible if they do charge her with Madalena's kidnapping, unaliving, or whatever, selling, whatever they're going to charge her with. So it is under pre-recorded. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I will see you about 9:15, 9:35. So don't forget to watch out for the notification, and I'll see you later on. Bye, guys.